I'm Mike.
And I'm Adam.
And this is Stuff and Waffle. Two friends talking about stuff, and often as not, waffling with frequent reference to Bond cars. A little bit of an update is called for, I think. You may recall we bought Ford Puma.
Oh yes, everyone was. There was a bit of envy there, wasn't there, from
a little bit,
all corners of the internet when you said that.
Certain corners, yeah, that went down well, I think. Yes. At Mark 1 Puma, we should just clarify.
Yeah, just in case you haven't heard the first episode, not silly SUV.
Not silly SUV. I don't. Why are they reusing names? I mean, come on. Surely they could have thought of something else.
Anything else really would have done.
Why have they done that? I don't get that at all. They would reuse a name. That's very silly. Anyway, so yes, our 2002 Puma Thunder. Yeah, we've probably how long we've had that, a couple of weeks now, and we've been whizzing around in that bad boy, and I've been right through it. I've made a little list and dealt with a few things, but fortunately, it does appear to be in as good a condition as we were expecting it to be, as we initially thought it was.
Excellent.
Haven't found any horribleness.
Better, lovely.
You tiny little bits of rust here and there, but we're going to get those dealt with. It was quite funny actually because Phil saw it this week because I helped him take his Puma to the garage for its timing belt and a couple of other bits to be done, and we convoyed there, and he little Puma convoy there. If you can have a convoy of two, I think you can.
Yeah, let's say yes. This be fine.
We'll say yes, yeah. And he had a look at it, and he was tapping wheel arches and said, "Yeah, this is unbelievable. It's a Puma that doesn't have rusty arches. I've never seen that before."
No.
You'd
have to go all the way back to the 90s.
Yes, that's right. You had to buy one brand new to get that, and it probably didn't last long. So yeah, all good, really.
Excellent.
I removed an errant bit of cable from the boot, which I thought was going to be a massive job, but turned out not to be. So,
well, that's all right then. Did you say that was for a CD changer or something along those lines?
No. Well, I was trying to work out what it was for. I'd done a little bit of detective work, and there was a few things I'd noticed, and I sort of tried to piece it together as to what had been done. The radio that's in it is a 6CD changer, which the Thunder came with, but all the Puma instruments and sort of dash panels and things are all the controls are silver, but the radio that's in it is black. It is the correct model. It's a Ford 6006E, which is the model it should have come with. But it's black, not silver. But having had a rummage around on the internet, there's loads of them with a black one instead of a silver one. But it's not its original one, because in the owner's handbook, the key code has been crossed out and another one written in. So it's not original. It's had a swap. And I wonder if they were swapped under warranty, you got a black one rather than the factory fitted silver one.
I suppose because the black ones would have been what was in anything but a Puma.
Exactly. Well,
that's what they had on the shelf.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. That the silver ones were built especially for the Puma, but if a dealer was changing one at some later point, they just order one in, and chances are it'd be black because it would be for a Focus or a Mondeo or whatever. So it's definitely not the original radio, but it is the correct model, and it's black, not silver. But that's fine. I don't have a particular issue with that. But
no, I mean, and there's a paper trail, so happy days, really.
And there's a paper trail, and we've got the key code for it. That was my other concern, was that it had been swapped, but we didn't have the code. Because then you're yeah, well, it's potentially knackered the first time you disconnect the battery. So,
Yeah, buggered at that point.
but yeah, so that was fine. But there was a bit of a blue cable sticking up in the boot behind the back seat, and I was trying to figure out what this is for because it didn't look factory, and it had been cut, so it sort of stuck up from behind the back seat, but and then had been chopped off. And when I was washing it, I discovered some holes in the rear bumper.
Ah,
Above the number plate. The number plate is very recessed on the Puma. It's in its
yeah,
own
it
little
is.
own little cutout, and right at the top of that cutout, right in the corner, there were 3 holes. One really big one in the centre, and then 2 smaller ones which looked like screw holes,
Right.
and this cable in the boot. And it occurred to me that I think at some point it had either had a reversing camera on it, or someone had tried to fit a reversing camera to it.
That's,
Quite why you would need a reversing camera on such a tiny car. I
yeah, I was
mean,
just going to say that, and it's
um,
not a tricky one to park.
no, it's not. But there it is. I can't think what else you would put in that position.
No,
Um,
especially if it's just a single thing. I
yeah.
mean, yeah, I've seen horrendous bodge jobs of aftermarket parking sensors, but the fact
Mm.
it's just one hole. That's,
One
I
hole,
think,
one big hole, and 2 smaller,
yeah,
what look like screw holes either side of it.
yeah, I think camera is the most
I
likely.
think camera, and somebody had run a cable into the boot. They drilled holes in the bumper, which is really annoying. But and the number plate had been repositioned down as low as it would go,
Right.
to make room for something to be mounted above it. So I think it's had a reversing camera on it at some point, and this bit of cable in the boot was obviously going
Bit of
to it. And
leftovers.
I thought, oh, I'm going to have to dismantle and pull the carpets up and do all sorts of things with this bloody
Yeah.
cable. Um, and it all just came out.
Oh,
It,
that was it. Just
that was it. It didn't go anywhere. None of the trim or the carpets or anything looked like they've been disturbed. It's all nicely fitted down. It doesn't rattle. It's all you can always tell when trim's been messed with, can't you? It's
you can, yeah. So, well,
um,
that's interesting. So you reckon you've pulled out the bit that they've had a go on, and
yeah,
they gave up, and that was as far as it went. Yeah.
that's what I can figure out. Yeah, I don't think it's gone
Yeah.
any further. So removed the cable, and I've repositioned the rear number plate, and it does actually cover the holes. So that's a little bit
Well,
neater. Yeah.
that
Um,
that's a happy accident then. So yes.
that's a happy accident. The number plates are going to need replacing at some point because they're starting to delaminate. They're the original dealer plates, so they've done very well.
Yes, that is quite quite the feat of endurance. It's a shame that the original dealer plates have to go. But,
It is. They're okay at the moment, but
mm,
they are starting to come apart.
yeah,
I took them off and had a look at them. Well, I took the rear one off because I wanted to move it
we
up a
had
bit and
to. Yeah.
put it back in the holes it's supposed to be in.
Mm,
And it's starting to all fall apart on the back. It's the laminate starting to peel off the plastic, and it's going to go.
yeah.
And sooner or later they're going to be an MOT failure, aren't they? So they'll have to be replaced. But I shall keep them because I
Yeah.
like having the original deal plates. That's nice.
Yes, definitely.
So they're still on at the moment. But other than that, it's been spot on. I've cleaned it thoroughly. Made a little list of a few bits that need doing, but there really isn't much. Gas struts on the boot need replacing because they're getting a bit tired.
Okay.
They hold the boot up, but they won't lift it.
Right.
You
Okay.
have to
Yeah.
push it all the way up, but that's fine. That's no big. Yeah, I can do that. I've done gas struts before. And there's just little bits and pieces, really, but nothing. Yeah, nothing major
Nothing
at all.
drastic. No.
No, not at
Oh,
all. It's in,
very good.
and it starts on the button every time we use it, even if it's been left sitting for a few days. It just fires instantly.
Brilliant.
It's really smooth. The air conditioning works.
Oh, even better. Lovely.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's spot on. It really is. For a 20-year-old Ford, it's quite remarkable.
um, how many miles you put on it since ownership began?
Oh, good question. Not much.
No.
No, not a lot. I mean, we haven't. No, not a lot.
Well,
Well,
I suppose no one's really going anywhere. That's still. I
we're
mean, it's
still not
still.
really going anywhere. No, exactly. We have been as a family in it. We went out last weekend. So little man's been in the back now.
Mhm.
And yes, he was. Well, he's not too into anything that isn't a Tesla, but he didn't complain, which is a bonus. So I think he found it quite comfortable. But
That's very
yeah,
little choice in the matter at this point.
yeah, indeed. He until he can afford a Tesla, then yes, he can be transported in a Puma. But
Yes.
yeah, no, it's been good. It's been good. We've had no issues with it at all.
No.
The only thing that's giving us pause is that we can't verify if and when the timing belt's been done. It
Okay.
has a full service history, a full Ford dealer service history, every in the book. In fact, I think it's got some extras. But I've only got the invoice trail up to about 2009, which I'm guessing is when the original owner sold it.
Hmm.
I've got a couple of bits of paper from 2014 for bits and pieces, but no service invoices past that point. But on none of the paperwork that I've got does it mention anything about a timing belt. And some of the items listed are like changing the washer fluid and things like that. So
Okay.
it's incredibly detailed, but no mention of a timing belt change at any point in the service stamps in the book, or in the paperwork. There's no mention of that.
Okay.
Now, the fact that it's got such a complete service history and it's always been done at Ford dealers sort of suggests that if it needed doing, it would have been. But of course, it's not reached the mileage. Because Ford said the timing belt had to be done every 80,000 miles. Well, it's only done 42. So it hasn't got to it in mileage.
I've read that, but didn't they also caveat that with 5 years?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
So it should have been done several times by now. There's no marking on the timing belt cover. I haven't taken it off and looked, but I mean, what are you looking at? I mean, I wouldn't know. I mean, unless it's frayed.
I was going
And
to say
very,
it's very much just look at the state of it. Really, that's
yeah.
the thing. If you're looking a bit iffy, then but
So could do that, but I wonder whether we should just take it and have it done, and then we know because
yeah, I suppose it's not. It's not. I mean, it's not the cheapest of jobs to have done, but it's not ruinous.
no, but it
And
would
on
be
a car
ruinous
that could.
if it let go.
Oh yeah. That most definitely. Yeah,
We're
I
all done
think.
then, aren't we?
I'll tell you what. Then let's see how well the chap does Phil's one, and see if he fancies another go if he does it well.
That was exactly our thinking because the chap Phil's taken his to um, said, "Oh, it's the same as a Fiesta. That's easy."
Mm.
Hmm. No, it isn't.
But I have.
Yes, the Q based on Fiesta. It's a completely different engine.
It is. I mean, the chap in question, I know he did the time belt for Phil on the ST170 and
Yeah,
did a fine job.
yeah.
So
Well, it's over there
yeah,
now, so we'll see how he gets on. He
that's
hasn't
it.
he
I
hasn't
mean,
done it yet. He's not doing it till next week, but
okay,
um,
well, he may well get to it and go, "Oh bugger, no, it's not the same." But I mean,
it's not the same. And I have dramatically underquoted for this job.
yes,
I
but
don't know.
if he does a good job, then he may well get another job out
We
of
might
it.
we might whiz ours out there. Yes, absolutely.
Hmm.
But yeah, so that's the only. As I say, my gut feeling is that it kind of must have been done because it's got such a good service history.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I can't prove it.
No, I know what you mean, but a car that well looked after is bound to have had it done at least once.
Well, you'd hope so, wouldn't you? Yeah, you'd hope so. By now, at 20 years old, it really should have had it done.
Yeah.
Even though it's only done 42,000 miles. So, but yeah, other than that, yeah, spot on.
Yes, it's a very good choice. I'm still very envious. I'm still annoyed that I've not been around to see it. But oh my
You
goodness,
need to get yourself a ticket, or I'll
I,
bring it over to you. The way,
yes, the part. Yeah, after I said in the last episode I'll be around next week, the world has gone and got in my way.
It really did, didn't it? Yes, and that visit did not happen.
No, I've lost track of the interruptions, but no, we'll. And yes, I'll get the moan out the way now. You'll hear about it when I'm doing it, but next week's out of the question as well, thanks to Her Majesty and a bloody court system.
Yes, you're going to be a juror, aren't you? Well,
Yes,
maybe.
what fantastic! I'm going to sit around after driving to Exeter and back every day for 2 weeks potentially. So, God, thank you for that, Your Majesty. God,
Next week's podcast might be a bit angry.
yeah, there might be a bit of anger involved.
Just
I think
warning the listener. Yes.
it just turns out there are enormous pros and cons about being on the electoral register. So if you're willing to give up your vote, it does mean you don't have to encounter the bollocks that I'm going to have to do.
You will never have to do it if you're prepared to not have a say in our political system. Yes, but then that also does, I would suggest, forfeit the right for you to have a moan about it. So
yeah, but that's fine because I don't have to moan about it because I won't have to do it then.
that's very true. You get that? Oh, yes. No, I know you're really looking forward to this.
I just, I'm so pissed off about it. It's just
yes, and it was also it's the paltry amount of money they give you in compensation, and B, the fact that the disruption to your business they could not give a rat's hat about.
No, and unless I'm dying, they didn't really consider anything else to be a worthy excuse.
You should have feigned some sort of contagious disease, perhaps.
I think just go in there with a well-placed burp and they'll realise their mistake immediately.
Oh, it's not going to take long, is it?
No. I'll make sure I have something utterly incendiary on the drive down there.
I think, and quite a lot of fizzy pop. I think
yes.
that'll be your way forwards with that. Yes.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, we'll take the back rows, just shake it up a treat. Yeah.
Oh, ideal. Yes.
Yes.
Grotty little man in the corner. Yes.
Well, that's it. I can have another whinge as well. I'm going, this is why we're a car podcast, because I briefly considered public transport to get myself there. And I thought, this could be very cost effective. Just go, actually, it's going to save me a lot of money in fuel because obviously the travel, I have to pay the travel expenses up front and then claim the back.
Yes.
But obviously, the second I want to get on the train, bus replacement.
There you go.
Go. Oh my, just piss off.
Line closed. Yeah.
No,
but you could be a window looker on the bus, couldn't you?
Oh, I mean, that would be 2 hours each way.
It would.
And no.
We should explain for people not familiar with our local area. By car, that's what 40 minutes?
45 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually, I think it was the car park that I'm going to intend on using. I think it was 52 minutes from my driveway to there.
Certainly less than an hour door to door.
Quite, yes.
Or double that on the bus. And you've got to walk at both ends.
Double. Yeah, so not only if I were to use public transport, I have to get a bus from my house to the train station to then go, oh, they're not doing trains, and get on a bus.
That's true.
And then once I get deposited in Exeter, after I'm grief-stricken and just overburdened with travel sickness, I then have to walk 15 minutes across the centre of Exeter to go to the courthouse.
Court, yes.
And then stand in a queue to be just demeaned, frisked, and stand there and prove I am who I say I am, even though they're the ones who asked me to be there. I mean, who is going to impersonate a juror? Who wants this bollocks?
That's a very good point.
Yes.
Who would pretend to get in? Yes.
Hmm.
That's weird. Yes. Mm.
And I got the extra information just to say. They said, "Oh, you get your lunch covered," and they said, I get some pitiful amount for lunch."
Yes,
But
so
they
you
said,
told me about that. Yeah.
and they said, in all of the sort of documentation that I've been given so far, it's all very generic and sort of explains roughly what's going to happen. But
Mm.
then someone from the actual court that you're going to sends you some information, and they say to you, "We've got absolutely nothing in terms of catering. Bring lots of water with you. We've got nothing for you here."
Great.
Well done.
So you
Mm.
have to carry bottles of water as well.
Mm.
Excellent.
Yeah. Yeah, it was in bold in the email saying, "Bring plenty of water." But what? How are we in a day and an age where you can't go into a building and then provide you basic
Have they not
water
got?
supply?
Have they not got running water at the courthouse?
I don't know. Apparently not.
They not paid the bill.
Unbelievable. Yeah, so you can see there's just a hint of animosity about this.
Oh, you're all over this. Yeah, absolutely.
So we've strayed there.
We have a little bit, but it is car related because you will be doing quite a bit of driving over the next couple of weeks.
Yes, there is the potential to be doing hundreds of miles in the next few weeks.
There you go. Yeah, we haven't done that in a while.
No.
Unfortunately,
really
it is hundreds of miles up and down the same bit of road.
up and down the same bit of road in what appears to be at the moment horrendous weather.
Yes, absolutely awful conditions, and that road's excellent in bad weather.
Yes, really good, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't flood and get covered in mud and crap and everything at all. It's really nice.
No, I'm genuinely looking at that and thinking, do I just go round and use the motorway?
Well, that is an option, isn't it? Yeah, that is an option, actually, and just come at it from the other way. Yeah,
I might have a car left at the end of it.
well, this is true. Going the old way is gonna, or the A road way is gonna, yeah, it's not gonna do it any favors, is it?
No, and just for the listener, we say A road in the most loosed possible term. I have no idea how it got an A classification.
This is a Devon A road, which pretty much everywhere else in the country I think would be unclassified.
Yes, it's awful.
It is. This is not what everyone else thinks of as an A road.
No, it's. I mean, if the road surface were better, you'd almost say it's a nice driving road, but it's just in a state of disrepair constantly.
Yeah, there are bits of it that would be good for driving, but they're so riddled with potholes that you daren't get any speed up. Otherwise, your suspension is gone. You're going to buckle a wheel, tires burst, all sorts. You can't do it.
No, you can't do it, and it's just oh dear, bad.
Yeah.
So
it is bad.
I don't know. I suppose it depends what time I drag myself out of bed on Monday.
Yeah, sure. What time you got to be there?
Oh, that's the beauty of it. It just keeps getting earlier and earlier.
Oh,
Initially 10, then 9:15, now 8:30.
Oh, come on. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's why they don't start cases that early.
No, they start at 10.
Yeah. So why have you got to be there at 8:30?
No, I think it's just the first day. I think that's why I'm
to get all their paperwork out of the way. You're going to have to sign all sorts of things, and
honestly, I've got to turn it with passports, driving license, utility bills, all my summons information.
Again, back to your question: why would anyone pretend to get in to do that?
Yeah,
I suppose somebody who wanted to maybe cause a trial to go off track or something.
Yes, that's entirely possible, I suppose. And I heard this is fantastic as well. I've spoken to someone who's done jury service recently, and they gave a really wonderful story. They said they were utilised, they were called into a case, and they were an actual juror, and gave their verdict on said case, and in this particular instance, the defendant was found guilty.
Oh,
And I don't know anything more than that.
No.
But the clerk of the court then said to the 12 jury members, they said, "We'd like you to remain here for now, because there are people who are very angry about the verdict, and for your safety, we think you should stay in the building."
Oh, bloody hell.
Perfect.
So you go the wrong way with it, you get beaten up on the way back to the car park.
Even better. What? It's just fantastic system, this, isn't it?
Oh, that's cracking, that is.
Mm.
So not only do you have to put up with all that, you've now got risk to your personal safety.
Mm. So that's good.
Some angry gangster's going to come at you with a baseball bat.
So, yeah, there we go.
Oh, that's lovely, that.
So you can look forward to an update on this. I mean, granted, I will be all above board. There will be no details on anything that's actually happening. You will just get venom.
Yes. It's pure anger. Yes.
Yes.
Lots of it. Oh, well, I think we can all look forward to that.
Good. Yeah, I bet the subscribers are going to go through the roof. Oh, listen to the podcast with the really angry man.
Yes. It'd just be you for an hour. They wouldn't hear from me.
No, that's it. No, just maybe you'll do an intro just to set me off.
Yeah, and then you'll just talk for an hour.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, some cocky little comment. I'm going, oh, how's your week going?
Yeah.
Right.
And then that's just a tirade. I'll be off the stairs making a sandwich and you'll still be going.
Oh, dear. Yeah, that is going to happen, but there we go. Can't do anything about it. Just get it out of the way.
You just get it done. Yeah, you may get discharged early. You never know. Not like
no, don't do that.
I'll
be in there as the bloody defendant. Then
I was going to say you'd be on the other side of the room. Yes.
But I'd tell you what, it'd be interesting. I've not commuted anywhere in quite a while, so I report back on the standards of driving and how much rage has been created by that process.
Standard of driving, standards of the roads, yeah, all that kind of stuff. That'll be and does the car stand up to it? Because that hasn't done any regular journeys for a while either.
No, so this is there's just a can of worms, isn't it? Oh, and as well, just to throw it into the mix, because where the court is, there's going to be some inner city driving. So that's
and trying to park a very large car in a very small car park.
Yes. For an extortionate amount of money.
For an extortionate amount of money, yes. So which they will presumably not reimburse you for.
No, there was confirmation in the email received that parking charges would be covered, which is fantastic, because where I looked, I thought there's a couple of options nearby and they are all £16 a day.
Ow!
Yeah, it's a bit steep.
True. Well, I suppose you're right in the centre of the city, aren't you? But even so, blimey. Oh, well, I would definitely pick the most expensive one you can find.
Get some money back on this bloody hell.
Absolutely, yes.
However, should I really fancy going off the rails, and if at any point I do manage to pop myself on public transport, there is a fantastic wine bar just around the corner from the court. So I do have an hour lunch break.
Lunch is looking up then.
Yeah, I don't recall in any of the documents that say that you can't get twatted in your lunch hour.
Oh, well, I think that needs to be done, especially if you're actually in the courtroom.
Yes, and I think
you're going to get a skin lunchtime.
I think it's an unwritten rule, but I'm going to teach them that they should write it.
I think you're going to demonstrate why that needs to be written down. Yes, absolutely.
You're going to want that in black and white, chaps, because I'm going to go in there and be a very vocal juror.
Oh, I hope they're not doing anything important in the afternoons.
Oh, yeah. No, that's
very good.
Time. Yeah, so there we go.
Yeah, sleepy time. Yes, it's indeed. Very angry and then sleep.
Right. So Should we recap that? So you've got a wonderful Puma, and it's doing incredibly well, and I
Yes,
do intend to see it shortly.
please do.
And then shortly following that, I'm going to be very angry for a couple of weeks,
Yeah.
and it might affect all podcast topics.
I think so.
Yep,
Yeah, whatever
okay.
we want to discuss, you're going to get angry about it.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah. I'll link it back somehow to commuting and or
you will.
court. Yeah, so that's fine. Okay, right, good.
We need to come up with some topics that you're already quite angry about, just to really ramp it up.
Yeah. If anyone starts up a conversation with me in that waiting room and starts talking about their SUV, then they may get launched out of a window.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, obviously, once they find out who you are, because we're, quite celebrities now.
Oh
they'll,
yeah.
they'll be wanting to talk to you about all sorts of things like that. So yeah, they'll be wanting to show you their lovely new SUV they brought along.
No,
Yeah,
don't you worry. I will be taking noise cancelling headphones for that bloody waiting room.
yeah, I bet you will.
I don't want the general public coming anywhere near me. Just
Oh no,
waste and strays that they're going to drag in to be tourists as
I
well.
think you need to pick the T-shirt quite carefully.
Yes. I do handily have some Mighty Car Mods t-shirts. Just to link it back to
that'd be
cars.
good.
Yeah. So I think if you sit there, I've got one with Marty's catchphrase of "in the bin." That's quite good because that's it's not specifically car related, but people are going to look at that and go, "Why have you got that one?" You'll like this. I had this the other day. I mean, I know I'm a decrepit old man, but I was at my osteopath.
Of course you were. Of course you were.
You know what I'm like, just ruined constantly.
You are a bit crippled, yes.
I am a bit crippled. I do have the gammiest shoulder for someone under 40, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I say that there's not many. There's not long that I can say under 40, but I'm having it while I can.
It's while it's there, you make use of it, chap. Yeah.
Yes, I happened to be wearing the In the Bin t-shirt when I went to see her, and she asked me to remove said top half so that she could do her weird and wonderful things. And I took my jumper off, and she said, "Why have you got a t-shirt that says In the Bin?" And right, okay. This is
you take a little bit of explanation. Yes.
This is a very specific catchphrase for a very specific Australian YouTube channel. All about cars. Right, okay. It's almost like she wished she hadn't asked.
Just how could that possibly be?
Yeah, so there we go.
Well, since we haven't got any stuff or waffle merch yet, stuff or waffle? No,
stuff
and waffle. Yes.
Yeah, we'll
it's not stuff
with...
or waffle. It's stuff and waffle.
Yeah, it is definitely both. It's just inane bollocks.
Not one or the other.
No, yeah. In lieu of that, we'll make do with some Mighty Car Mods. And I think if it's a really special day, I'll break out the My Car Goes Psh Psh t-shirt.
Oh, perfect. Yes, everyone will get that. Yeah.
Yes, that is not niche in the slightest.
No, just don't wear your Jimmy Savile fan club one, because we know what happened last time.
Yep, it's back to the defendant side again. It's not good.
No.
I got given a random little present the other day from Kaylee. Not like that.
No. My mind went to all sorts of things.
I just thought, I'm going to just cut you off there and then, because I know what's coming.
We'll take that as read, shall we?
Yeah. This is, it's a family-friendly podcast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Sorry. Well, you brought up.
I did not. Right, she brought me a copy of Practical Classics.
Oh, very good.
Just a random little thing. He'll probably like that. And I did. I had a little skim through. I do, we've touched on this before. I do like a magazine. I am quite old school in that sense.
You are. You do like a printed material, yes.
I do. I'm not, and that's across the board. I mean, if you go on your summer holidays and it's feet up by the pool with a book, it's not a bloody ebook. That's not for me.
It's got to be
No,
a real one.
I like real paper in them.
Uh,
I
so you
just
can draw the little pictures.
I don't draw on the book. I tell you what, I'm like my granddad. It's just never defile books. That's
very good.
he was very. If he saw someone fold the corner of a page over, he'd lose his shit.
Okay.
That is uh, he was an avid reader, and he always kept his books in pristine order. And I tell you what, I was probably a disappointment to him growing up because I wasn't a huge reader as a kid. It was sort of late teens when I sort of got into it, and he was like, right, there are rules.
Yes.
Because he had all of the books and a lot of car ones as well. He said, you can borrow them, but these are the rules. I mean, way stricter than any library.
Right.
But yes, and I've
Man of great moral standing.
Yeah, and I've jumped on the bandwagon there. So over the years, he and I have traded books many times, and he approves of the state of mind, so it's fine now. So yes, I digress. Right, so Practical Classic, an actual magazine in the flesh, not on an iPad. It got me thinking. There's a lot of stuff in there, from the ridiculously expensive to the mundane.
Mm-hmm.
But I suppose everyone's dream is to discover or get that phone call of going, oh, you like cars. My friend's got something tucked away and wants rid of it. They thought of you because you like cars.
Yeah.
What?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, these things do happen, and
They do.
I mean, not frequently enough for my liking. It's never happened to me, but that's why I got pondering on that. If someone was sort of say to you, "Oh, so and so's got this tucked away," or "There's apparently a barn with one of these in," or what would be your ideal project, barn find, whatever you like? What?
Ooh.
What
Ooh,
would?
that's 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 a very interesting question.
Mm,
And
if you were going to
it could be
embark on
anything,
it,
couldn't it? It could be
yeah.
anything. Yeah. Well, hmm.
If you were going to do it, and what I think you should take into consideration is going, well, all right, you got to start with the skills you've got. You got, if
Oh,
things need doing, you're going to have a little learn.
oh, it's getting done very quickly then.
So no, I think this is all a learning process. So bear in mind, if you think what would be the ideal thing that you think, if someone said to you, "Oh, there's one of these in a garage somewhere," and they said, "Oh, they just want you to get it out of the way,"
Yeah.
what would you love it to be?
Ooh.
That very much revolves on your skill set, or you expanding your skill set to deal with said vehicle. Because it would be very much a case of it would be bestowed on you in your current situation, not only
Yeah.
skills but financially. So
Yeah. I say again, it's not getting done very quickly.
that's fine. But what would you like it to be?
Ooh. Well, my mind was immediately drawn to a DeLorean because I've been involved with the restoration of a DeLorean, and I know about them. They're not actually very complicated cars. Parts, certainly mechanically, are readily available. It was a widely used engine, and quite a lot of them do turn up as barn finds. You know, they're stashed all over the place. So, and the other great advantage to one of those is that they don't, or at least bodywork wise, they don't suffer from rust. So it's likely to be in better condition, even if it has been, in a pile of bushes for 20 years. Um, that's not to say it's completely impervious to rust, because the chassis and everything can rust if the epoxy coating that was put on the chassis is cracked or split in any place. Then obviously moisture can get in and can rust. But in terms of body work, it can't, because it's stainless steel. So is likely to be more durable if it has been abandoned for a while. And front rear
Yeah,
fascias are plastic and all that kind of
that's
stuff.
right.
So it's it's a lot more corrosion proof than your average car. So
Definitely.
that's that would probably be top of my list, and that's probably they are quite a simple car
Yeah,
with a
I
fairly
think.
simple engine. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
think you're on to a winner there, because that is really what I was thinking. But you've honed
Mm,
in, because not only have you sort of gone right, okay, you're the same as me. The skill set is not massive when it
no,
comes to this sort of thing.
no.
But you've gone in with something you know about. You've got knowledge there. So while you may not know how to do something, you've got an understanding of what needs to be done. Uh, like you say, the metalwork is probably the biggest thing, isn't it? Because I think I'm saying this casually, but I think in my head, I'd rather get to grips with. I think getting to grips with mechanics and things like that would be easier than learning uh, stuff like welding, panel beating, anything like that.
I would have
That's
thought
years
so.
and years
Yeah,
of
it
practice.
is. It is. Certainly with, I mean, all right, with the DeLorean, it's harder to deal with dents and things because you can't just fill it, and
Yeah,
clearly because it's all on
uh,
show. You're dealing with bare
yeah, you
metal.
can see that. Hmm.
Um, but assuming bodywork is okay, yeah, I think getting to grips with it, and it was such a widely used engine that the PRV V6 that went in those, the Peugeot Renault Volvo developed engine was
Hmm.
used in so many different cars.
That's it. Yeah. So you're gonna be fine for a bit of research should you need to find something out.
Hmm.
Parts shouldn't be too much of an issue for the engine.
Well, worst case, of course, there's DMC in Texas who have the world's largest stockpile of original DeLorean parts from the factory. So, I mean, they've got pretty much everything. And over the years, they've developed a number of upgrades and improvements that deal with problems that were inherent in the cars if they left the factory. Um,
Yeah,
so not only could you get it going again, you could probably make it better.
that's it. I
Um,
mean, is it right in saying that the stuff that they stock, you could probably build an entire car?
oh, you could. In fact, they do that for people. They offer that as a service. But yeah, they will do that for you. They will source cars and do sort of restorations and things for you, but they also will build you a new one from original parts. Um, so anything you would need, to be honest, is fairly readily available. So you're not likely to get stopped by not being able to get hold of something. Um,
Mm.
you're not going to have to deal with corrosion, and it's mainly going to be mechanical stuff to get it back on the road. And of course, when it is back on the road, it's actually going to be worth proper money because
Yeah,
they do sell for quite big numbers these days.
yeah. I mean, like you say, if it's road going, even if it's a bit rough around the edges, it's still strong money.
I've seen quite rough ones for 35 grand.
That's
Um,
crazy, really, isn't it?
yeah, I've seen them advertised at 25 grand as spares. So
Bloody hell!
yeah, prices have gone nuts on DeLoreans.
Well, yeah,
Really
like
have.
with bloody most things. My goodness me.
Well, true. That's yeah, true. But it has gone crazy with those. I mean, they're getting the rarity now as well because there's I think they reckon there's less than 5,500 left now worldwide.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, that's
getting quite.
yeah,
I mean, they
that's not.
made 9,000 in the first place, so
Yeah,
it's
this is true. Yeah, forget it's such a low number, wasn't it?
such a low number car. But yeah, the current figures are less than 5,500 globally.
Oh, well, how many of
Yeah,
those are replica time machines?
oh, quite a lot.
Mm,
Quite too many.
in
Too
terms
many.
of percentages, it's too big.
It is.
My
I love a time machine replica, as we have established.
yes.
But can we stop drilling into these cars that are now irreplaceable? Can we stop? Can we stop? Cutting bits out of these panels that can't be replaced.
Quite.
Um,
Yeah, we've got enough now. Probably
yeah, I
leave it.
think
Yeah.
how many time machine replicas do we need?
Time machines aside, you would
Time
like to get
machines
the
aside,
phone call and say, "Here's a
that
DeLorean.
that
It's a
would be the
bit
dream.
ropey. Do you want it?" Right.
That would be the dream. I think I would pretty much take a DeLorean in any condition at this point.
That's
Um,
yeah. I think it's wise choice. There's no
yeah,
point in turning it down because
no, I
even if it
wouldn't.
is too far gone, if you know what bits to look for on it,
Yeah,
you're at least quids in on that. You can help keep others on the road.
well, absolutely.
Mm.
Yes, exactly. But no, I would take it, and they do come up from time to time. They do get found. There's a
Mm.
lot of them all over the world that have been tucked away in weird little places. But yes, I think that would be the dream. There's some others I would not be adverse to, but I think if I were the one that would really get me going, that would be a barn find
Yeah,
DeLorean. That would be
I was gonna
very
say
cool.
you didn't really hang about answering that.
Came
I
straight to mind. Came
that
straight
was it.
to mind.
I threw a topic at you, and you came straight back with the answer. So
Mind you, my default answer for a lot of the questions is DeLorean, but
yeah,
in this case, yes, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot I wouldn't turn down. Um, you know, um,
but
somebody
that's
found me a nice, a Mark One Escort or something like that, or a Sierra, or a Series One Range Rover. There's all sorts of things that I wouldn't turn
mm,
down, but if
no, but
yeah, that would
yeah, I
be that
could.
would be the one that would really get me going. Yeah,
That's a bit of you, isn't it?
I
Yeah,
think it is. I think it is. Oh, one day it might happen. We'll see.
we'll get there. We'll get there. Don't you worry about it.
We'll get
There'll
there.
be a phone
We'll
call,
get-
and all you got to do is go and fish it out.
I have.
It's
I'll give you a call because we're going to need some hefty to tow it with.
yeah,
And
we'll be all right.
yes,
We'll drag it
get
out.
that
Don't
out.
worry.
There you go. So, what are you thinking then? What got you thinking on this topic?
I tell you what, it was all just thumbing through that magazine, thinking,
Hmm.
and I thought about it. I didn't dwell on it too much. I just thought of that being a good topic, and then I applied a brief bit of thought, thinking, right, what would it be that would be that something that you quite like, but something that would be good to work on, something that would be good to learn some skills on,
Mhm.
something that wouldn't be a hassle. Um, and it's it's something that it's a car that I've had dealings with. Um,
Mhm.
I've sort of been around them a little bit, particularly when I was younger. Not so much in recent time, well, or vaguely recent times at all. But that would be, and I know you'd almost say it's a boring answer, but it would be an MGB.
Really?
Mm.
Okay, I'm surprised by that.
Yeah, I just think,
Okay, interesting.
I,
Very interesting.
I just
See,
think,
again, that's not a that's not a silly just because they're very popular
mm,
and there's a huge wealth of parts and modifications and improvements available for them.
that. But again, that's part of my reasoning that
Yeah.
because I'm not I'm not a metal worker, and I've not got boundless cash to throw at a rot box of one of these.
No,
But
you get a bad one, and that will never be right.
but the fact that there are so many parts available for this, including
Yes.
body parts. I just think that would be my sort of saving grace. Again, get one that's not utterly ruined. I mean,
Yeah.
it all depends on that phone call and what state you get of the car.
It
But
doesn't.
you don't know what you're getting. I mean, in an absolutely dream world, I'd probably get something. I don't want a rubber bumper one. So I'd probably think the sweet spot would be late 60s, early 70s before they made the switch.
Yes.
So
that makes sense.
That's
They are
kind of the sweet spot.
extremely prone to rust, though.
They are. They are. But I suppose the saving grace is you get the one that you get the call about will have been tucked away. It'll be in some decrepit old barn, but vaguely watertight, so all is well in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's such. I just think it's a simple engine to work on.
Yes.
I think it's used in so many different things. It's not like you could do that. I think the engine bays on those they're roomy enough to get your face in there and do stuff, because the MG ones, they were the 1.8s, the 1.8B series. So
Okay.
yeah, nice simple engine, nice little car, and it would be the MGB. I wouldn't have the GT. You might as well have. The ideal one would be the one with the soft top. That's I think that would be. Even if I didn't get a phone call, I think that would be a really nice introduction to classic car motoring.
Yeah, I think it would. Again, a lot of the same reasoning that the DeLorean would work. I think you've got thriving owners communities. You've got companies building parts for them. You can get anything you want. It's simple, easily accessible. It's not going to be expensive to get some of this stuff.
Exactly.
I think you'd be all right with that, wouldn't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
And if the engine is completely shagged, you can now get an electric conversion kit for them. So
Yep, yeah, the scope is endless. Yeah.
it is. It really is. Yeah,
Yeah,
again, I think that's quite a sensible choice. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think I know they call me Grandad, and I think I'd look quite home in that.
Oh, you get a little. You're gonna need a flat cap and probably a pipe. But
you say about the flat cap. I have eyed them up in shops. Kaylee has caught me trying them on. She's like, "You are not buying that."
No.
See,
no.
my mate Mark got away with buying one. The transaction was complete, and he now wears it proudly.
Wow.
So I think,
respect.
Yeah, I think it just needs to be a purchase where the lady isn't present.
Yes, I think so. Of course, if you come in with that, the lady might not be present then for quite a while.
That you do run the risk of of certain marital issues when you turn up in a flat cap and a bit of tweed, but it's fine.
You do. Yeah, don't worry about that. It's the right thing to do.
But I think even after all the ribbing you'd get of Kaylee taking the piss of going, "Oh my God, you've got an old man's car and you've got a flat cap." If I let her drive it, I think she'd change her tune.
I think she'd get it. I think, and she would look fantastic in that.
Yeah, that's the other issue. It could go extremely the other way, and you get that's that gone then.
Yeah, I'm having this now. Yes. Yeah, because she would. She would look brilliant in that. Yes, that would work really well.
Yes, oh my goodness me! I just think what a thing. I think I'd be, yeah,
Yeah.
it could be a bit of me that.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Um, I can see that. Something's just crossed my mind that would also work quite well, actually, and probably we'd both enjoy
Mm.
um, a Jag XJS.
I don't know if you or
JS,
I would enjoy working on that as much, though. I mean, you look under the engine bay of one of those, and you think you look at one of the six-cylinder ones and go, "Quite, it's a bit tight."
hmm,
Working under that must be a pain in the ass. And then someone went, "Oh, I found you a 12." Oh,
yeah,
I can't even get my
you
little finger anywhere.
no, that's right. It is. It looks like some sort of result of a plumber's training course or something, doesn't it? It's just pipework everywhere. Because isn't all the fuel
Yeah,
lines are on the top?
I believe
So
that is correct. Yeah.
it just looks. Okay, I mean, I know someone who's got a V12 XJS, and yes, it does look like that. But
Hmm.
there would be quite a strong motivation to work on that because we both know what a glorious thing it would be once it was all up and fixed.
You look at, I mean,
Mm,
if you compare it to the MGB and you go, right, you look at a B series engine and you go, you can name every component on that in an
yeah,
instant.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but you look under the engine bay of an XJS and go, oh, bollocks.
A Jag V12, a 1980s or possibly even 70s Jaguar V12,
Mm,
uh, wedged into that kind of low profile engine bay.
yeah.
Um, yeah,
Yeah,
you
it's
got
just going
you,
to and yeah. They open the
you
bonnet,
get
go, nope, witchcraft.
yes, that is devil work. You
Yeah,
slam it down again, which
yeah,
obviously will break all the hinges,
yep. Yeah,
and
that'll never open
yeah,
again.
no, all done. Yes, off to the auction.
Mm.
Yes, that's probably not such a good choice, but
Um,
we'll stick with the MG.
yeah, I thought, no, Janks did drift into my mind and thought, no, there's just none that are going to be.
No,
I'm not ready for it. That's half the thing, isn't it? Going right, you need to cut your teeth, don't you? First.
same problem with something like an Aston DB7, which of course is an
Oh
XJS
my
underneath.
god.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
can you imagine just an XJS with added complications?
yeah, an XJS, but even more so.
Oh
Um,
no.
no, you're a broken man if you try and take
Yeah.
that on. Yes,
Can't do it. Not possible.
no,
Oh dear. No, no. And it's
no,
a hard no on that, I'm afraid.
it's not happening, is it?
No. No,
No,
we'll take the barn finds, recommission them, and then you can trade up to a DB7. There you go. You can
yeah.
have a
So
working one.
one that someone else has already sorted out. Yes,
Oh my
yes.
goodness me. Yep, that seems fair. No, but that's fine. Right, okay, we're locked in then. You want a barn find DeLorean that someone just
Do
wants rid of,
I
which
do?
is fine, and I'll take an MGB.
Very good.
Very specific. Like I said, I want a pre. If I want to get my year right, so pre 74 will save me the rubber bumper horribleness. So
Yes, it
yeah,
will. That's true. You don't want the Americanized one. No, no,
no,
no, no, no, no.
no,
No, you want a bit of
no.
chrome on there, even if
I,
it's tarnished.
yep, I don't. I could live with tarnish. I'll have tarnished chrome over grotty rubber.
Yes.
Oh, and
So
there's a
you could, of
phrase.
course, take the grotty rubber off and refit with chrome ones, but
Mm,
yeah, it's a whole thing. Yeah,
that's a thing on its own. No, I'll take one that was originally meant to be like that. But there we go. And
excellent
any
choice.
yes, and any car that comes with overdrive. I've never had one, so I want one that's got it. So, and I believe those
I've
did.
never had a car with overdrive. No, that's you got. Yeah, you've got to have a bit of that.
Yeah,
And you're whizzing around the countryside saying "tally ho," aren't you? Really?
I am.
Hmm.
Uh, so I suppose just to complete the set, maybe some string back driving gloves.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, we go full part, go full partridge. extra purchasing.
Well, I'm going
gear there.
to need quite a baggy jacket with rolled up sleeves,
Yes.
and some sort of checky trousers and lots of hair,
Yep.
which is becoming more of a challenge with each passing month. And
These things do happen. But I tell you what I'm thinking. I think Ashes to Ashes captured it beautifully. Danny Moore was the driver of the DeLorean, and that he was full 80s.
He was full
Yeah,
trench coat and everything.
Yeah. So that's what you need.
It is. That's
Yeah.
the looks we've got. Yeah.
Yep. There we go. Job done. Right, there we go. Project Cars of Stuff and Waffle. If anyone knows of either of these cars, please get in touch. We'll happily take them off your hands.
Please do let us know. But of course, what we must also not lose sight of is along the way, if we find a Mark 1 Focus, just buy it.
Yeah. Just buy it. That's the mantra. That's the car that you can go and retrieve all these cars with.
Well, I think that's probably enough of that for this week. Check us out on all the various social medias and things. Thank you very much for listening.